Welcome back, everyone. Today we will see a game touted to be Vishwanathan Anand's best game in 2017. This game was the game of the day at the round 5 of 2017 Sinquefield Cup held at St. Louis. Anand was white and his opponent was the chess prodigy Fabiano Caruana. Anand started with c4, e5, knight c3, knight f6, knight f3, knight c6, g3, d5. The game has opened with English opening 4 knights variation fianchetto line. The game continued with Anand playing c into d5, black captures with knight, Anand plays bishop g2, Caruana plays bishop c5, eyeing on this c5 f7 diagonal. White castles, black castles kingside, Anand plays d3. Caruana pushes his bishop to b6. Anand plays bishop d2. Caruana replies with bishop g4. Anand plays rook c1, attempting to control this semi-open c file. Now Caruana plays knight into c3. Caruana plays this move in an attempt to prevent white win a pawn. For example, let's say instead of playing knight into c3, black plays a6. Anand will win a pawn by playing knight into e5. Here comes knight into c3, bishop into c3 with an extra pawn for white. And hence, at this position, Caruana played knight into c3 so that he does not lose a pawn. Anand captures with his bishop. Caruana plays rook e8, defending this e5 pawn, which is now being attacked by the white knight and the white bishop. It earlier had protection only from the knight, now it has got protection from the rook as well. Anand plays b4, attempting to kick off this knight on c6 and win this e5 pawn. Caruana plays queen d6, reinforcing the defense on the e5 pawn. Anand plays knight d2. It seems that Anand is planning to move his knight to c4, thus attacking the queen and putting more pressure upon this e5 pawn, but that's not his real plan. Watch closely how Anand plans to open this f file. In the meanwhile, Caruana plays queen h6. This prepares for queen h5, which is going to put pressure upon this e2 pawn, at the same time extends support to this e5 pawn over here. Anand plays knight c4, putting pressure upon the e5 pawn. Caruana plays queen h5, not only defending this e5 pawn but also now threatening to win this pawn on e2. So Anand plays rook c2, defending this e2 pawn. Caruana plays rook a d8. Anand captures the bishop with his knight. Caruana recaptures the knight with his pawn on c7. Anand plays f3, attacking this bishop. Bishop goes to e6. Anand plays queen d2 and Caruana plays b5. Now this b5 move is to block the advance of this pawn to here and attack this knight on c6. But honestly speaking, more active move was to bring the knight from c6 to d4 and attack the rook on c2. Anyways, let's go back to the main game where Caruana played b5, Anand played f4. Anand unleashes his plan of opening up this f file. Caruana plays bishop g4. Caruana is preempting that Anand is going to play this f5 move, and hence he moves the bishop from e6 to this active g4 square. But honestly, this is a mistake that allows Anand to grab initiative. Black bishop needs to be here. It needs to be protecting this f7 pawn. In fact, f6 was a better move instead of moving away this bishop to g4. Anyways, the game continued with Anand playing bishop into c6. Remember, this knight over here plays a very vital role of defending this e5 pawn, and once this is captured, there is very high possibility that the knight will come here and it will serve some support to this f7 pawn. So first Anand removes this knight on c6. Caruana plays pawn into c6, and now Anand plays f into e5. If you now see, the f file is open for attack. Caruana plays f6. Now Caruana wants to open up this e file and win this e2 pawn. That's the idea. But this is a weak move because it is severely compromising the black's kingside defenses, and Caruana is just not seeing what Anand has been planning up till now. So Anand grabs this opportunity and plays e into f6 and lures Caruana to gobble this e2 pawn with his rook. Caruana falls into this trap and plays rook into e2. Now, if you look at the position, black seems to be having an upper hand with rook on white's second rank attacking the queen, but black's own house is soon going to catch fire. And the first shot towards this is with this move f7 check. Caruana plays king f8. Now here comes bishop into g7 check. This bishop sacrifice completely destroys Caruana's defenses. Caruana goes on and plays king into g7, accepting this sacrifice. There is no other better move. Here Anand plays queen c3 check, and Caruana replies to this move by playing rook e5. Now this is the final blunder for Caruana. In fact, it was better to play queen e5 instead of playing rook e5, although at the end white would still end up with a better position. For example, if here black plays queen e5, the game will continue as rook into e2, queen into c3, rook e8, queen d4 check, rook f2 blocking this check, queen into b4 trying to have some control over this f8 square. f8 is equal to queen. White's queen is back on the board and it's with a check. Queen get exchanged, and now if you see, it's actually a winning position for white. So anyways, white would have won, but it wouldn't have led to the checkmate which is now going to happen at this position when queen into c3 was replied by rook e5. Okay, let's see what happened in the game. Here first Anand played queen d4. The whole idea is that keep this rook pinned and then bring this rook over here at c5 and put pressure upon this e5 rook. Here Caruana played queen g5. Now remember, you cannot capture the white queen on d4 with your rook. If you do this, you will have f8 is equal to queen check, king g6, queen f6, checkmate. And that's the reason why to queen d4, Caruana did not capture the queen at d4. Instead, he played queen g5. The game continued with Anand following up his plan and playing rook c5. Now, remember, the reason why Caruana played queen g5 was that he saw that if you capture this queen at d4, ultimately there is checkmate at f6 with this queen which is coming here. Alright, so he played queen g5 to cover this f6 square. So now when the f6 square is covered, it means that there is no immediate checkmate, and that's the reason why now Caruana can actually go ahead and capture the queen on d4. This is what Caruana calculated, but it was under calculation. He did not calculate it fully. So he went ahead with the capture, and now Caruana is a queen up. But honestly, this queen capture leads to checkmate in 9 moves. Let's see how the game proceeded. First Anand played f8 is equal to queen. Caruana played king g6. Here Anand played queen f7. Now here it is at this point that Caruana calculated everything and realized that there is a definite checkmate, and this is where he resigned. Alright, why he resigned? So let's say if he were to continue, he would have to play king h6. Anand would have played rook f6 check. There is no other move to play apart from queen g6. Anand would have played queen f8 check. King would have to go to g5. Here comes rook into e5 check. Again, no other option but to play bishop f5 or maybe queen f5. Doesn't really matter. Anand will play rook f into f5 check. King must go to g4, rook f4 check, rook into f4, queen into f4 check, king h3, queen h4 check, mate. Now this game is also one of the contenders for the best played chess games in 2017. I hope you liked this game by Viswanathan Anand. Thanks for watching this video. Bye.